No, they eat babies. That is not bullshit. They love the taste of human flesh and they drink human blood.
There's secret rooms. They got secret rooms.
Go on, tell me, how do I find the secret?
So when you go in the secret rooms, because they hide it in loads of places, they tie string around and then they put it all around the body, but they're naked, and they got this tattoo on the private with like little piercings.
And worshipping the devil, participated in human sacrifice rituals and cannibalism.
Armstrong guy. Have you seen him on the talk shows?
Neil Armstrong, you mean the first man to walk on the moon?
Talk about a fish story.
Yeah.
Man, and they're buying it.
Oh, yeah.
If a person okayed it, I would eat a human. If you were at a very fancy restaurant and they were like a tiny piece of human meat.
No. I think the only way
you wouldn't try a tiny bite?
No.
Really?
This most dangerous game, as they referred to it, was a matter of human hunting. And when a mind-controlled slave such as myself was stripped of clothes and turned loose in the woods, I was then hunted by George Bush, Dick Cheney, and Bill Clinton, among others. But they were the...
Jim Carrey shook the whole industry when he stepped onto live TV and did the unthinkable, exposed Hollywood's dirty secrets right in front of the world. This wasn't no sketch or movie promo. This was Jim, dead serious, staring straight into the camera, mocking the Illuminati with that triangle hand sign and calling out the hidden power structure on Jimmy Kimmel Live. At first, people thought it was just Jim being weird again, laughing, clapping, saying, oh, that's just him having a moment, oh. But once you really listen, you realize that wasn't no joke. That was a warning shot to the entire industry. He said it plain. Hollywood is built on more than just talent and hard work. Behind the red carpets and flashing lights, it's a machine fueled by control, manipulation, and some seriously dark rituals. And Jim, he'd had enough. He didn't just hint at it. He exposed it on live air, right where nobody could edit it out. He claimed those so-called after parties, especially the ones right after the Grammys, are where the real madness goes down. We talking no phones allowed, no outside media, no slips, private invites only.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh, I like it.
For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, when they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things and, you know, and you know, look at them trying to.
Once that last award is handed out and the camera's cut, that's when the real show starts. Jim said those parties are far from innocent, more like initiation ceremonies for the elite. New artists get walked in like royalty, then hit with the real cost of fame. Whispers of robes, symbols on the floor, contracts signed in secrecy. It's all there, but you only get one chance to see it. And once you're in, ain't no backing out without consequences. People online have called it conspiracy for years. But when Jim dropped those truth bombs, it validated what folks been saying. He didn't need to name names. His tone, his eyes, the way he mocked the system, it told the whole story. The man risked his career to say what others wouldn't, that behind the fame, there's a darkness so real, it'll change you forever. Everything starts falling into place when you connect the dots, especially when you look at what's happened to other celebs who tried to speak out or just got too close to the truth.
Children is not what great nations do. We in America are misinformed.
Reality shows have warped our idea of what a hero is, or what the truth is.
Look at Whitney Houston, one of the most powerful voices to ever bless a stage, found lifeless in a Beverly Hills hotel. And while her body was still in that building, her mentor, Clive Davis, was just floors away, throwing his annual pre-Grammy party like nothing ever happened. They kept that party going with celebs smiling, toasting, and performing while Whitney lay upstairs gone. That right there sent chills down people's spines. You can't tell folks that wasn't strange. It felt off, cold, calculated even. And to many, it looked exactly like the kind of ritualistic move some believe happens when the stakes in the industry get spiritual.
Check this out. One image in the Epstein files list contains an image that shows two chickens, and in the middle is something that's been redacted. But if you look closely, it really looks like a baby's leg. If it's just another chicken, why block it out? That's my point. And you can see the full leg right there. And people, yes, remember when Hillary Clinton's emails came out when she was joking about sacrificing chickens to Moloch?
And then, years later, her daughter Bobby Christina dies in nearly the same way. Found unconscious in a bathtub just like her mother? Come on now. That's not just a tragedy, that's a pattern. 2 generations, same eerie setup, same industry silence. You can't ignore that. People online been saying for years that these high-profile deaths feel too convenient, too rehearsed, and once you see that, you can't unsee it. So when Jim Carrey came forward mocking Illuminati symbols on live TV and making jokes that hit way too close to the truth, it wasn't just comedy, it was rebellion. Jim knew what he was doing. He wasn't just taking jabs at Hollywood, he was going for the jugular. He straight up called the industry out for the mind games, the manipulation, and the dark energy that flows behind the red carpets and gold trophies. And the wild part, he didn't even have to name drop. Everybody knew who and what he was talking about. But it gets even darker when you trace the connections to Jeffrey Epstein and his disgusting empire. The same names seen in his flight logs, the same ones showing up at Grammy parties, hosting private events, and getting Lifetime Achievement Awards. People started pulling screenshots, receipts, and even an image supposedly from Epstein's files that had folks shook, a dinner plate that looked like it had a child's leg on it. Whether it was real or not, it sent the internet into a frenzy and made people rethink everything. Jim said it himself, it's all connected. From celebrity tweets that feel coded, to contracts that come with unspoken expectations, to artists being groomed for roles behind the scenes, it's a spider web. And once you start speaking out, that web tightens. Just like they tried to do with Jim when his girlfriend passed and they flipped the narrative on him instead. The moment you speak truth in that world, you become the target. This ain't just your regular Hollywood drama. This is deeper, darker, and way more calculated than folks want to believe.
So they make a hole in, and they tie string around, and then they put it all around the body, but they're naked, and they got this tattoo on the private with like little piercings.
Okay.
Not like earrings, but like little gold piercings around the private.
Yeah.
And they all dance around with skulls on in the church there.
Okay.
So they have skulls, like the teachers and the staff, they got 20 skulls each.
And how do you know they've got 28?
Thing that we do, the babies we eat, the food we eat, the wars we fight, the babies we eat.
Jim Carrey didn't just throw shade at the industry, he exposed it. He stood up and said what most celebs are too scared to whisper, that Hollywood runs on silence, secrets, and symbols designed to control both the stars and the people watching from home. He called out how the entertainment biz doesn't just entertain, it programs. From blockbuster films to cartoon classics, it's all layered with hidden meanings. One example he pointed to, Monsters, Inc. A cute, funny movie on the surface, right? But think again, in that world, monsters scared children to bottle up their screams as energy. Now, take that same idea and overlay it with the adrenochrome theory, the belief that elites feed off fear and trauma from kids to maintain youth, power, and status. Sound wild? Maybe, but when the metaphors start lining up too well, you gotta wonder, is it really just coincidence? Or is that the whole point, to hide the truth in plain sight? And it ain't just Jim talking. Roseanne Barr came out and blasted the entire scene, saying straight up, Hollywood is run by satanic pedophiles. That's not vague. That's not a hint. That's a direct shot. And it echoed across the internet like a siren. Now imagine that. Two major stars from two different lanes saying the same thing. That ain't random. That's a pattern. Jim took it even further. Said the culture at the top ain't just toxic, it's ritualistic. That some of these big names get where they are not because of talent, but because of what or who they sacrifice along the way. Behind the glitz and smiles, he said there's robes, chants, codes, contracts, and a whole lot of fear. That red carpet, just the entrance to something far more sinister. And the Grammys, he painted them as more than just a music celebration. According to Jim, they're like the ceremonial hub, where eyes are on the stage, but the real moves go down behind the scenes. Closed door deals, unspoken vows, and silence bought with fame. He made it clear. If you think it's all just music and awards, you ain't really watching. Cause the true game, that's what they don't want you to see. And Jim risked it all to show just a piece of it. Now let's really talk about what happens when you step out of line in Hollywood. When you stop playing the puppet and start exposing the puppeteers. Jim Carrey is one of the clearest examples we got of how that machine turns on you real quick when you break the silence. After all his bold appearances, clowning Illuminati hand signs on live TV, dropping messages about energy, the universe, and how fake this whole industry really is, he didn't just fade out, he vanished. 1 minute, he's everywhere. The next, no movies, no interviews, just gone. That wasn't no casual break. That was a full-on disappearance. And folks started whispering. Some said he got silenced. Others think he went rogue on purpose, dipped out to protect himself, to avoid becoming another name on that long list of tragic endings. But either way, it's clear. The industry tried to erase him. He stopped being the funny guy and started being the truth teller.
No, they eat babies. That is not bullshit. It's true.
So it's not just the dogs and the cats, not just the pets.
It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires. And everybody still thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. They're full-on vampires. They love the taste of human flesh and they drink human blood. They do it. They say you can't wake people up that are pretending to be asleep, but I pray to God, please wake up even those who are pretending to be asleep with the irrefutable truth of what the worst people on this planet are really up to. They are really up to that. They're doing it. There are so many victims.
There has been a long-standing conspiracy theory that Hollywood and the elites harvest the blood of young people and transfuse it in order to reverse age. And now the Epstein files might have revealed that that is in fact true. In this email to Jeffrey Epstein, it says, all you need is a blood transfusion from the pack and you reverse aging. This is where adrenochrome comes into play. It is a real chemical compound found in the blood when the body is in a fight or flight situation. And we know that the kids that were involved in Jeffrey Epstein's network were definitely put into fight or flight. And of course, we've seen Hollywood elites like Chrissy Teigen tweet about how they're going to a party where they're serving up 4-year-old cheese pizza with adrenochrome and of course the eye emoji. And according to the FBI code words, cheese stands for little girl and pizza stands for girl. Now back to the email. The subject is Dr. Agus, a professor of medicine and biomedical engineering at USC, pretty local to Hollywood. He is also the founding director and CEO of the Ellison Medical Institute. You know, the medical institute funded by Larry Ellison, the new owner of TikTok. And he's also hosted a Paramount show with big celebs like Ashton Kutcher and Oprah Winfrey. If you know, you know. And I think that Hollywood and the elites have been using predictive programming to get us used to this idea. Take Monsters, Inc., for example, where a bunch of monsters go into little kids' rooms to get them to scream, harvest those screams, and then provide energy for the city of monsters. Except in reality, the monsters are a little less cartoon-like.
And that's when the lights cut off. That's how the game works. When you play along, you get praised. When you speak up, you get punished. We've seen this story before, over and over. Michael Jackson said it loud. They don't care about us. That wasn't just a protest anthem. That was Michael screaming from the inside of a machine that chews you up and spits you out. And they dragged him for it. Media hit pieces, false narratives, legal chaos. They didn't want his message out, so they tried to bury him. Then there's Prince, a legend in his own right, starting to speak publicly about chemtrails, mind control, and who really pulls the strings. He started wearing slave written across his face, calling out contracts, systems, everything. And just like that, gone. Now Jim, he didn't get taken out, but he sure ain't walk away clean. His image got twisted. His mental state got picked apart in headlines. And after his girlfriend passed away under dark, mysterious circumstances, the media pounced, turned it all back on him, made him the villain. It was a warning to others. Speak out, and this could be you. But what they didn't count on was people paying attention. And now, in 2026, Jim's words echo louder than ever. Everything he hinted at, the control, the rituals, the layers of manipulation, it's out in the open now. The Grammys still roll out the red carpet every year, but audiences don't see glitz anymore. They see the game. They watching with new eyes. They catch the symbols. They peep the patterns. They remember the ones who stood up and the ones who sat down silent. Jim Carrey cracked the code in front of millions. And while they tried to bury that moment, the internet never forgets. Every single year, fresh new faces hit that stage like it's their moment to shine. Lights flashing, crowds cheering, labels pushing them like the next big thing. But behind those heavy curtains, the same old shadowy deals keep getting made. Same system, same rules. New blood for old power. That's the real exchange going down. And for the ones who don't play along, the ones who refuse to sell out or stay silent, they either get ghosted from the industry or thrown under the crazy label so hard the public don't know what to believe no more. That's what they tried to do to Jim Carrey. But let's be clear, Jim wasn't crazy. He wasn't having a meltdown. He was just awake before folks even knew what that meant. He saw the game for what it was and tried to sound the alarm. Now, his words echo like a siren through every suspicious award show that leaves people feeling off. You know the vibe, the weird costumes, the strange hand signals, the over-the-top performances that don't feel like art. They feel like ritual, and then, not long after, tragedy, a death, a sudden accident, a mystery illness. Every time it's followed by headlines that barely scratch the surface, but people ain't sleep no more. They see the repetition, they recognize the signs, and they're finally connecting the dots. It ain't just music, it's messages. Layered deep into the glam, hidden in plain sight. And Jim? He lit that first match on live TV. What they called comedy was actually code. What they called nonsense was him speaking in a way that wouldn't get him shut down on the spot. He dropped knowledge disguised as jokes, and now that flame is burning bright. So keep your eyes wide and your ears open. The truth don't always scream. Sometimes it whispers behind the beat, behind the lights, behind the scenes they don't want you to see. Every laugh track, every red carpet smile, every choreographed performance might just be part of something bigger. If you're ready to keep peeling back those layers, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Because what we're uncovering, they don't want it out. And trust, we just getting started. Catch you on the next one.